Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. We got a special guest here in the studio. You're going to really enjoy today's presentation. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. We're looking at a high today of 87, low 74. Water temperature hanging in there right around 80, about to hit 81. Our river reading brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. Good fresh seafood up there on Highway 77, just north of Bozeman School. And I'm about ready for some of that catfish out of Chautauqua River. If the river gets back down, we're looking at the Apalachicola Bluntstown. Now, look at that. It actually, you see what happened last night? It sort of dipped down a little bit, and it's just starting to climb today. It's reading 12.2, but it's getting on up there to 16 and level off. If you remember yesterday's reading, it was completely, that's why you can't go by these future readings. It was completely different yesterday, because remember how it was going to flatten off? It didn't flatten off, okay? It just went down a little bit. So it's always a day-to-day thing on these river readings. The Chautauqua Caryville, it's reading a 10.4. Now that's the one that's a natural river, so we've got a natural rise coming up, and it's going to get on over about 12 or 13 by the weekend. So it'll still be rising by the weekend. Our marine forecast, let's look at a tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tides today, all the way into the weekend. Really good strong tides. We're looking at 12. At 10:11 this morning is a high tide. That's perfect. And then going on out, low tide at 9:14 tonight. And our marine forecast southeast at about 10 to 15. Let's take a break. Come back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome to the winning Drew Benton. Good morning.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great, buddy. I know you got a big smile, and you have a reason to have that big smile. And first of all, we congratulated you on the show last week when you won and all, but congratulations again.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's been a blessed May, I'll tell you that.
It has been a special. Let's get the folks a background on BASS and basically on the Elite Series and all, even to get up to that level. I mean, it's compared if you're a football player like being in the NFL or in basketball or NBA, the level that Drew is at. He's a local hometown boy and grew up here and all. So tell us about how you get into the series.
Well, the way you get in is you qualify through the Opens, the Bassmaster Opens. I qualified in 2015, so 16 was my first year on the Elites. This particular event here was one of the biggest of the year outside the Classic. It's called the Toyota Texas Bass Fest. It's benefiting Texas Parks and Wildlife, so it's a catch, weigh, and release tournament. Unlike the rest of our tournaments where we bring the fish in, this is a catch, weigh, release, so it's big on conservation, big on returning the fish back where you caught them. Okay. And it was kind of a unique event, but what was really great about it is it got me a bid into the Bassmaster Classic for this year already. So I'm already qualified. You know, that's the goal coming into the year for all of us, just make the Classic. You know, that's the biggest event in our sport, and to have that already under the belt's a big weight off my shoulders.
You just got an automatic invitation by winning it and all.
Yep, that's right.
That is awesome. Now, when will that be?
That'll be next March on, I think it's Fort Loudon, Tellico Lakes, in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville.
It'll be a great Classic, a good town to have it. So
we may come there and watch that or something. We'll see.
There'll be a lot of folks there, I'll tell you that.
All right, now you follow them day after day. I mean, this tournament and all. So tell us your game plan and going in. Had you fished this lake before?
I hadn't, but it had a lot of similarities and a lot of situations that I'd encountered before. The shad were spawning early in the mornings in marinas. I targeted them with a Bagley Knocker B-top water and a nickel 6-inch flutter spoon, and those were my two main baits. And then later in the day, I just kept the top water in my hand and just run shallow rock cover with shade lines. And that was the key. You had to run into a wolf pack of fish, and that was just feeding wolf packs running down the bank. Yeah. And if you ever run into one, he would just follow it in. So the key was to find a group of them. And once you found a group, they get competitive, and that's when you would actually get the bites.
That's a similar trait in the different kinds of fish. They'll start getting competitive.
Exactly.
Up there, be in the Gulf or on the lake. And all.
Same way with a school of redfish. A lot of times you find a school of redfish, you'll get bit right away. Sometimes those individual fish are a little bit trickier to get to bite.
So the first, you did some preliminary fishing, right? To start with, y'all sort of go up there and just fish it out preliminary?
Yeah, we get 3 days of practice and then, a 4-day event.
So you fished 4 days?
Well, 7, and honestly, I really didn't put the pieces of the puzzle together until the afternoon of the first day of the tournament.
Okay.
So it all kind of came together. It's one of those things, you're trying a lot of different things, and sometimes it just don't all come together until game time, and you don't have any idea when you're going to win a tournament like this. A lot of things have to go your way. Everything has to work out. It's got to be 4 of the best fishing days of your life.
Yeah.
And it just worked out for me like that week.
You just can't strike out any of those days. I mean, you got to be pretty steady each day.
And things will happen, that don't normally happen, and kind of give you the idea that things are going your way. Like I hooked almost a 5-pounder in the top of the head with one treble hook and landed him. So,
oh, wow.
I mean, that normally doesn't happen, and when stuff like that happens, it just gives you momentum, and you think, hey, this might be fixing to happen, and it did.
We got so much to talk about, but right now, I want to mention that trophy. I tried to pick that thing up a while ago, about pulling my back. How much does that thing weigh?
I don't know, but after fishing all week and they wanted you to lift this thing over your head, it was pretty heavy. I bet it's 50 pounds.
Yes, it's got to be 50 pounds, folks. And that's what y'all refer to it as a big blue trophy? Or
big blue trophy,
You want to win that big blue trophy because there's only one of them. And I tried to pick it up a while ago. It is the heaviest trophy I've ever, and we've had some trophies in my lifetime and all for sports and all, but that is something special right there. So 50-something pounds. All right, now we got all kind of pictures. What we're going to do, we're going to get this later though, but I saw a little piece on video on Facebook about you falling in.
Yeah.
And that was one of the funnest things I ever saw, because then you win the tournament, but you're always falling in. So you're talking about high and low, but you had a great attitude about it and all. And also, these are the baits. He brought these baits. This is a bait that he won it on. Now tell us again what it is.
That's the Bagley Knocker Bee. That's 2 sizes. I actually won it on the larger size. Both sizes catch fish. They cast really well. They're a loud 1-knocker sound, and they walk effortlessly.
Okay.
So anybody can fish them.
Cool. And we're gonna give some of these away later on today on the show. Let's take our break, and we're gonna be right back with all these pictures. Okay, welcome back. So here with Drew Benton, coming off a big win on the Bassmaster circuit right here up out in Texas, and we've got some cool pictures. Okay, so let's tell the folks. But we're going to go through the play-by-play pictures. Tell us this one right here.
Yeah, so these are some photos from the event. This is one that my judge actually took of one of the better fish I was landing. No nets in the Elite Series, so you've got to wrestle them in however way you can.
Oh, no nets?
Yeah, no nets.
Oh my goodness.
So. That one had a face full of treble hooks, and when $100,000 is on the line, you don't even think about treble hooks. So I just grabbed him around wherever you can grab them.
One thing that struck me too when I was looking at this picture when you sent it to me, the color of the water. This is real emerald color.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
Now this particular part of the lake that I was fishing trying to get up there in a little bit of color, and so you still had 6 foot of visibility.
Okay, good deal. And
that was a 5-10 I caught the first day under a dock on top water.
Okay.
That was the first fish of the tournament, about the 3rd cast.
So on the 3rd cast?
Yeah.
You got to feel good about that.
It did. And that area didn't pan out necessarily, but that's the quality fish that was living under those marinas. And I felt like I could get 2 or 3 of those bites first thing in the morning, but was fortunate enough to get that one to get started, but definitely boosted me way up.
What percentage of the time do you like to go top waters compared to others?
Well, on a clear lake like Lake Travis was, I like to throw a top water a lot because I feel like the fish are really, really sight oriented fish or feeders. And typically if it's clear, I like to throw a top water or something, sight fish.
Good point right there. Tell us about this situation right here.
So that was the last day I'd fished through the marina with top water and didn't have a bite, and felt like the fish had moved a little bit deeper, and started flipping a 6-inch Nichols flutter spoon, and it sunk about 10 foot and caught a 410 on the flutter spoon. And that's me again trying to wrestle them in the boat best way you can. You only got one hook, one little treble hook on that flutter spoon, so
oh goodness gracious,
you can't really necessarily flip them in.
And the cameramen, they're always around, right?
They always are. And that particular cameraman, he was with me all week, and I told him don't change him out because he was good mojo.
He brought good mojo right there. Okay.
That was on third day. That was a 6.5 pounder I caught on top water. That was a really cool blow up. It was up under a dock slip boat float, and I saw it sitting up under, and there's a lot of carp in the lake too. And I just pitched my top water over there, and he sharked out there, and half of his body come out of the water when it ate that top water.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
he had it choked.
That was exciting.
Yeah, it was a big time blow up.
Did you have any trouble with carp or anything? Were they pretty well staying away?
The carp weren't bad there.
Okay.
They kind of got out of the way of them bass. Here's another top water fish. You can see the bait on the side of the fish flipping him in.
Oh yeah, that's a good action shot right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's a close up of the bait I actually won on right there, the knocker bee.
The knocker bee. I love that color too.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you fish both ways too. You fish for redfish. Would that be a good redfish bait?
It would, and I mean, I might trade out the hooks and put some heavier duty saltwater hooks on there.
Yeah.
But that is a great redfish bait.
That's a good color combination. I like the color. That's a great action shot.
You know, again, catch, weight, and release format. I think this was on the final day. That was my second fish of the day, and that really kind of got me going.
Yeah.
And you can tell I was sticking my tongue out at him. I'm having a good time there.
How many hours do you fish in a day?
We get an 8-hour day typically.
Okay, just like a work day. You don't. I don't guess you stop and go to have a restaurant, or go to anything like. You keep on going.
No, and it's hard because especially this past tournament, it was really hot. We had record highs in the 90s.
Oh goodness!
And it's important to stay hydrated. And a lot of times I'm not the best at that.
You don't think about it.
No, I'm chunking and winding.
Yeah. That's that 100-pound trophy right here.
Yeah.
But that's a great shot. Yeah, I know you were just so thrilled and all. And another shot too at the weigh in, and we're going to talk about now who we got here.
The family, my wife Amanda and little boy Cade, they're the backbone and support, and at home, and it was very nice that they got to fly in the day of the final day.
They knew you were in pretty good shape. They headed out there, didn't they?
Yeah, it kind of put a lot of pressure on Daddy, knowing that they were coming, but it all worked out.
So he's learning early for the interview.
They stuck that mic in his face, and all he could think of was
Is that what it is? $100,000. Wow.
Yep.
That is really cool.
Won't last long in this day and time, but it definitely helps out. Goes a long way.
That is awesome. Okay, there it is. They want you to lift above your head.
Yeah. I always wonder why all them guys struggled, lifting that thing over their head, and I got a taste of it.
I've never seen a trophy that heavy. Now this is cool. This was like, what day was this? You have 14 and all, but anyway, there's Drew. He's number 1. I always noticed this name here. I always thought a lot of this man here. Number 6, Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah,
he is a legend.
He is. He just this past month got put into the Fishing Hall of Fame. So,
how about
and a neat little story. We duked it out in the Bassmaster Classic bracket in 16, and we kind of met each other there, and he was the first one to congratulate me and shake my hand when I came back in.
A lot of those guys leave and all because you got to get on the road, but you told me he stayed around.
He stayed around to tell me congratulations.
That tells you right there what kind of character this man
there's
is.
a lot of great fishermen in this, and you meet a lot of great people, and all these guys are stand-up guys.
Yeah, and then we got some other stuff too, but that's some great pictures, and I know you're proud of it, but we're going to give away. Again, tell us how did Bagley Baits become your sponsor?
Well, it's kind of here on the Apalachicola River. That's the way I cut my teeth fishing. Throwing a Killer B2 and a Bangalore around, and actually met them in Angler's Tackle when the new owners bought the company, and we started talking about how to get the product back to the original, and they were big on that, and we've just developed a relationship, and it's really rewarding for me to be able to bring Bagley to this stage and know that that's where I got my start, it's how I got my start. And
that's cool. I didn't realize the roots of it right here, and it makes me respect them even more because they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
They want to get back to the roots and all, and understand that. That's really cool stuff right there. What do you have coming up next, coming on down the line?
So actually, I leave Saturday to go to Orange, Texas, to the Sabine River for our next elite event. The following week, I go straight to Shreveport, Louisiana, to the Red River for the next Open, and then I have 2 more back-to-back elite events. One's in on the Mississippi River in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Then I head over to South Dakota, so I'm going to be on the road for 4 weeks.
Gracious.
Yeah,
that's 4 straight solid weeks.
Yeah, it's a grueling schedule, but we've already faced that once this year, so bring it on.
Yeah. Do you get to see fish? I mean, all these other guys fishing. You get to talk to them much, or y'all just sort of in and out and don't get to see each other much?
Oh, we communicate some. I mean, I have a pretty good roommate, and we kind of compare notes and talk fishing, and that's good. That's huge. Matter of fact, it keeped me in big on this tournament.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, we talk some, but most of the time we're hard at it, daylight to dark,
Busy fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take our break. We're going to give these away when we'll come right back after the break. Okay, welcome back. Today with Drew Bennett. We got a lot to do this segment. Hanging out with us. Let's do a fishing game time first. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers down in St. Joe, 203 to 403 this morning, and this afternoon 227 to 427. Now let's go ahead. I want to show a couple more pictures. I want to show. Listen, I ran last Thursday night. We had the NRA banquet, and I run into Drew, and he's there. He's, of course, first thing I asked him if I could borrow some money. He said he'd already spent most of it, but he's on a roll because he started winning. And look at this. Tell about winning this gun right here.
Yeah, so great event put on by Williams Gun and Pawn and the Friends of the NRA. I actually won a 30-06 Remington bolt action, and my dad was trying to win this little Cricket 22 for Cade, and it ended up not getting picked, and I was able to win it at auction. So, and then he won him a BB gun. So we come away from the NRA banquet with 3 guns.
3 guns. I'm telling you, you're on a roll. You need to go and buy your lotto ticket or whatever. All right, let's give away. Tell us what we're going to give away, Drew. Tell us about it.
So these are the baits that I won the Travis event on. It's the smaller version and the bigger version of the Knocker B from Bagley.
Okay, so we're going to give one apiece, and then I want you to draw the name since you want us to pick out one name out of there to see who that winner's going to be.
John Martin.
John Martin. All right, I'll put John right there, and okay, that's to be the big one, and then the other one will be, or the first one will come and get a choice, whatever.
And Mike Bush.
Mike Bush out of Weewall, out of Dead Lakes. Yeah, he'll use it.
He will.
I guarantee you. Okay, and the other 2. Now tell us about these other 2. What we're going to do?
I guess we'll do that on Facebook. Go and follow Panhandle Outdoors on Facebook. And pick a.
And we'll do that. That'd be awesome. Now this next picture here, I hate to call it my favorite picture, but it's one of my favorite pictures, and tell us what happened first before we get into the picture.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but last time on the show, we did more on the hunting side of things. You know, me and my buddy Fred Myers, and I joked around. You know, he's only fell in the water about 3 or 4 times in our excursions, and it's just kind of been the running joke. I come out on the shiny end of things and looking good, and this particular event, while the cameras were rolling and everything, I had a fish bite on the other side of a dock, and I pitched my bait over there, and it bit, got it pinned up against the dock, and I'm going there trying to get it. It's about a 3-pounder, and I bump the dock and fall in.
I saw it first on this little video action shot of you actually falling in. I just hooted out loud, man. I thought it was funny. And then Fred, tell us what Fred did.
He put together a play-by-play in a frame and signed it.
Because that's when you start falling and you start leaning in, then it goes in. So we'll try to get an action shot off of it later on, but I thought that's funny. All right, quickly now, we've got a few minutes left. Coming from a pro, I mean, a genuine pro that fish Lake Seminole a lot and all. Tell us, we were talking about it earlier when I was giving the readings on the river. You mentioned a very good point about fishing Lake Seminole.
Yeah, so this time of year and on into the summer, fish are really current oriented. Current's a very big deal for me. And when I noticed that the river was going to be jumping up, I made the comment, you know, they're going to be biting at Lake Seminole. And that's one thing that I really look at. I don't necessarily look at Lake Seminole, I'll look at the dam there and see what they're doing, what kind of release they're doing. And whenever they're jumping the river up that much, that means they're pulling a lot of water and putting a lot of current in the lake. It's going to set the fish up where you can catch them. It's going to put them in feeding locations on humps and stuff, and make them really easy to target.
Great fishing trip right there. Now you fish all over the country. I know one of your all-time favorites now, of course, is going to be Texas because winning it. But what are some of your favorite areas to fish across America?
You know, I really like the Tennessee River. Anytime any lake on the Tennessee River is good. It's where the Classic's going to be. And Smith Lake, believe it or not, I like these clear lakes. And it's because, you know, I'm a big time sight fisherman and I enjoy, you know, seeing the fish and trying to make them react to biting. And that's just kind of my thing. I like to be able to see them.
Yeah. What dictates how you're going to fish it? I know, is it the weather, like you said, the current, or the color of the water? What is it? All combination, or how do you?
Well, I just try to figure out what stage the fish are in first of all. You know, in the spawn, whether they're pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn, and then you kind of break down different categories within those. Are they, you know, on a shad spawn early in post-spawn phase? Are they out deep? You know, in the summertime when it's hot? You know, and a lot of that plays to where the bait is. You know, if you can find the bait, you're going to find the fish, and that's with any kind of fishing, salt water or fresh water.
That is so important, you know, finding that bait. That's what the old timers did, and out here in saltwater, the same way too. Now, you're challenging, like I say, you got these tournaments coming up and all, and some of the other guys you're going to be fishing against, what will they be, when they fish, will they be in your area? I mean, how do y'all get to what area you're going to be? Do they assign you an area?
No, you basically are just turned loose and you kind of hash that out, you know, best way you can. And the thing about the Sabine is we're not allowed to fish in Louisiana water. So they're cutting us off to Louisiana water.
Okay.
And they're also putting another boundary on us for a 12-inch size limit. So they're really kind of narrowing us down, you know. So I don't really know. It's going to be tight. I don't like those tournaments. I like a river tournament, you know, especially back home where I can run away from people, because that's the only way you can win a river event is getting in your own water.
Getting in your own water. Rain or shine.
Yep.
And a lot of times, sometimes it's more rain.
Yeah, a lot more rain than shine.
Than you want. Well, we got to start wrapping things up, Drew. Thank you so much for coming on the show again. We're so proud of you, and congratulations. It's just something to be, folks, you know, a local guy to win something like this, it's just a big deal. Big deal. Thank you again.
Hey, well, thanks for having me.
We're going to keep up with you now, so on all of them, let everybody know what you're doing. All right?
I appreciate everybody that's had my back. This is just as much for you guys as it is for me, so I appreciate it.
Well said. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. It's been a great show. Have a great day today. Enjoy the great outdoors. Always do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.